And welcome back, our auto man, Brian Bowersock. Always full of surprises. This one I didn't even know about. He's going to be talking about an external transmission cooler.
What does that mean to you, Phil?
Yeah, I have no idea, BB. Talk to me.
You know why I'm talking about this is I was explaining this to somebody, and I got this wide, doe-eyed look about what I was talking about. I thought, you know what, this would be a really good thing to talk about on one of our segments, so that's why we're talking about it today. So automatic transmissions have to be cooled somehow properly. On a regular vehicle, they're cooled through a cooler that's in the bottom of the radiator or side of the radiator. This is the little radiator here you see I brought, and the transmission lines would actually hook to this, and the fluid goes through there, and it's cooled by the coolant in the system, just like the engine
Pour
is.
it right in here, it's cooled through there. Yeah.
Yes, correct. So what we're now talking about is an external cooler, because the transmission's a very expensive thing. It's one of those things, just like an engine, you never want to see fail. So there's only a couple ways to take care of and prevent failure of a transmission. One is to keep it cool, which is why we're talking about coolers. The other one is to service it properly. Okay, we do have some evidence here of transmissions that weren't serviced properly. You can see all the metal in this filter.
Look at that.
Yeah, overheated failures cause metal failures like planetaries inside, or clutch material failures. They get stuck in the filter, and the transmission fails over time. So replacing the filter and fluid, if the filter's replaceable, is very important, but keeping it cool is the other thing. So what we have here is an external transmission cooler that I brought along that can actually be added to the front of the vehicle, which often goes in front of the radiator and gets airflow through it. It helps keep the temperature down. Now, we use these a lot when we're towing trucks that tow boats out to the river, or stuff to Glamis, things like that. We tend to like to add these. It helps keep the trans temp down and extends the life of the transmission.
I was also going to say that if people live in the East County, where the temperatures sometimes soar in the triple digits, or also in the deserts, that they would probably want to use these as well.
And especially if you have a vehicle that you load up a lot.
Right.
All right. Or you have a vehicle that you tend to do things like, we often put these on performance vehicles too, because they overheat the transmission, so these help keep it cool. But the two things you can do to keep your transmission life extended is service it, and we recommend usually around 20,000 miles. That is not a manufacturer recommendation. That's our recommendation to extend the life of them. And keep the transmission cool. So if you need an external cooler, you can always ask. They come in many different sizes. We can adapt them to most vehicles, but that's a great way to keep it cool.
This is something I never, ever thought about.
Well, I'm always trying to bring you something new, Phil, that you've never thought about.
Hey, sure. I thought I knew it all, but you know, but you're the doctor of auto. I'm just Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil. Very good. But these are some good tips that could actually save you money in the long run, and that's the importance.
This is some good information, like you said, especially if you're towing something out to the deserts, or if you have high-performance cars, and also if you're working and living in a place that's kind of a heated place.
Yeah, even work trucks that are loaded up heavy all the time, we do this with sometimes to help out.
All right. That's our auto man, Brian Bowersock, bringing us more information. CW6 News continues right after this.